Welcome to another episode of the Rich&Chill podcast. As you can see, it's another episode with a beautiful interview guest. I have the wonderful Charlie Garnham here today, and I'm super excited because we are talking about human design. And of course, I'm not an expert, but if you had the opportunity to work longer with me, you know I use human design also in my mastermind. But first of all, welcome, Charlie, to the show. So nice to
Thank you
have you
so
here.
much. Thank you, Bertie. It's going to be great talking to you today.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you. And so, I always recommend this to my clients when I work with them longer to at least have a look at the basics with human design. But to start with, just, our listeners already had a little bit an idea of who you are in the introduction. But if you would like to share who are you and why is this work with human design, especially when it comes to self-worth, so important for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think, it'd be great time actually to tell my story a little bit. And
Please.
really that kind of comes from being in corporate marketing for many years, for, maybe 15 or so years. And I was always one of those people that never really sort of like had that many sort of pay rises and sort of promotions as such. And I was also at the same time one of those people that really worked very hard, like I was working 10 hours a day and I was constantly pushing and trying to prove my worth.
Mm,
And I was never seen for that. I was never, really
okay.
thanked, and I was never
Mm,
promoted necessarily. Did have some promotions for sure, but it was a very slow burn for sure in my marketing career. And at some point, about 4 years ago, I found out that I'm a projector in human design.
oh,
And
wow.
yeah, and not only that, I have, an open solar plexus and an open ego center. And essentially, that means that I'm not very good, without this information. I'm not very good at setting boundaries. I'm not
Mm,
very good at understanding my own self worth. And actually, as a projector, I'm also not very good at seeing myself for who I am.
mm,
So,
mm.
really, that was the year that everything really started to change for me, because I started to really see myself. And I also started to, I kind of stopped pushing to prove my
Mm,
worth, really. And I think, that's made me go from someone who used to cry on my commute home because I felt so unseen and so bitter about, who I was working with and the fact that they
wow.
didn't see me. And it just led me into now today being someone who, earns 3 times more now,
Mm.
who works less, like a lot
Less.
less, like 50% less, and who just lives in a life of ease and flow, right?
Mm.
And it's completely changed my life, as you can see from my story there. So
Wow. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. Thanks for sharing this so openly. So to take a step back for everyone out there who says, "What the heck? What are you talking about? What is human design? I never heard of this." How would you describe it?
okay, so human design, for me at least, is the most amazing system, the most life-changing system there is out there. And the
Yeah.
way that I describe it is that it is a personality test, but it's
Mm.
for your soul. And sometimes I like to say to people, well, when you do personality tests online, you
Mm.
have questions and answers, and your ego mind can, potentially take over those answers and, kind of fill in the answers that you
Yeah.
think you are, or you think you want to be anyway.
Mhm.
With human design, it's kind of like, well, nothing comes from your ego mind. It all comes from your date and place of birth.
Mm.
So it's a part science, part spiritual system.
Mhm.
And yeah, it gives you a roadmap of your energy and who you are at the core of your being. And it can help you to understand where you have been conditioned in your life as well.
Yeah, that's a beautiful explanation. I totally love that, and I experienced that myself also because when I found out about my human design. So I'm a manifesting generator and I'm a three line with emotional authority. So
Mhm.
this was something, just not to put anything in a box, I'm this or I'm that, but it helped me so much, especially also in my business. And I experienced that when it comes to manifestation with my clients, that there is, so much struggle with allowing, and this female surrendering and
Mhm.
letting it in. And so it's so helpful because of this. There is so often guilt and shame. And why do you think that so many people struggle with this, self-worth, from your experience?
I think we live in a society where, because of social media, we're
Mm,
shown potential, lives that, we could be living, right?
mm,
And people kind of want to live those amazing lives, right? But actually, at the end of the day, even though you can look on Instagram and look on social media at someone living, a lifestyle that's suited for them,
mm.
actually it might not be a lifestyle that's suited to you. So we have
Absolutely,
this
yeah.
we have this
Mm,
like yearning to be that person that we see on
mhm,
social media. Not just social, obviously, the other places we can see this as well, and we want that for ourselves. But actually, human design can help you to understand, is that really what you want? Is that really
mm,
who you are? So it can help you with imposter syndrome so much, because it will
mm.
stop that. Oh, well, that woman over there is earning X amount in her business.
Yeah.
Why can't I do that for me? Why can that woman over there have this amazing membership with 100 people in it, and why is my membership only got 7 people,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
So it can help you to stop doing that. It helps you to stay in your own lane, look at
Yeah.
yourself, and yeah, just yeah, it gets rid of that imposter syndrome.
Yeah, that's totally right, yes. And I also want to come back to know this, often, or I experience that with my clients. They say, "Oh, this human design is another box you put me in," and they take it as an excuse. I'm a whatever projector or whatever, and so I can't do this. I can't be online. I can't do this, and I can't do that. And
Mhm.
as you said, for me, it's more this, that you see, wow, this is the part of me that is natural for me to put out there, or where I have natural my energy from, and it's like effortlessness to put myself out there. And for others, it's the other way around. As you said, you when I work with clients and they say, "Oh, I want to have this or that," and you go a little bit deeper, and then they say, "Oh, I thought I have to want this, or I saw it on social media. You have to do business like this or business like that." And so, how would you handle that if someone comes to you and says, "Oh, this human design is just another system of boxes," and go a little bit
Yeah,
deeper
and
if you want?
yeah, and like, I completely I kind of agree in a way. Like, it is a system and it does put people into
Yeah.
boxes for sure, especially like if you're only looking at the type, for example,
Mhm.
you can put yourself into a box of, oh, I'm a projector type, which must mean that I must wait for the invitation. But actually, I think the human design system and the words that are used, some people take them literally, whereas I
Mm,
take them very, very to be a lot more open.
yeah.
So with invitations, for example, with the projector, it's very much about knowing whether it's the right thing for you, and knowing whether it's the right time to even give that advice or share
Mhm.
that thought,
Mhm.
etc. And it doesn't hold me back in any way, and I know some people that it has held back.
Yeah,
So the
me
way
too.
that I like to sort of explain it to people is, it's like a you do you system, right? So if I tell you, oh, why don't you try waiting for the invitation,
Mhm.
if that's not correct for you, then don't wait for the invitation.
Yeah.
right? But you can play around with it and you can
Mhm,
experiment with it because in one part of your life, actually waiting for that invitation or waiting to respond if you're a sacral being, that might be a really good place for you in that part of your life. Maybe it's in your corporate job or where maybe it's
mhm.
in your business. That might be the place that you do it. So you just experiment and you just kind of have fun with it as well. You know, it's supposed to be like a system that's a guidebook, not a Bible. So therefore,
Mm.
just having fun and sort of coming at it with that sort of energy of like, let's just experiment with this. That's
Yeah.
definitely my take on it.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. I think that's often not the case, that people don't have fun with this and say, "Oh, it has to be like this, and I'm going there," and then so the fun part is really cool to explore that. I love that.
Yeah,
And of course, human design is something we could talk about for hours. But
absolutely.
what would you recommend if when you look at first at this human design chart, it can be a little bit overwhelming with all the lines and numbers and things. Where would you start? Of course, we will link all your information below. So I highly, highly recommend that if you have never had at least a basic reading in human design, go for it because it will help you a lot to understand it all what Charlie said. But what would you say if someone downloads it? Where to start with the profile or the authority? What would your recommendation be?
Yeah, so I think really one of the best parts about human design is that it helps you get out of your head and into your body.
Hmm.
And as you learn human design, you start to learn that your body is actually very intelligent and it's far much more intelligent than that ego mind that you have, right? Because your ego mind will always try and keep you safe
Hmm.
and it will always try and pull you back in. And actually, your human design authority, which is your decision making process, is probably the thing that you would want to tap into first. So,
Perfect.
learn what your authority is, learn
Hmm.
to really start to understand how you are born to make decisions
Hmm.
and have a play with it. Like, get things wrong, make mistakes with your decision making, right? Even
Yeah.
when it's things like what to eat or whether to go out for a meal with
Hmm.
somebody or the small things in life, experiment with that authority that you have
Hmm.
and you will start to understand from your body what is right for you and what is not right for you, and that's really where the beauty comes in with it for sure.
Hmm.
So that's definitely my starting place.
Oh, that's beautiful. And as I said earlier, this was really a game changer for me to know, oh, okay, I have this emotional authority and I have those waves and it's not helpful for me to make any decision when I'm at the top of my emotion. you know?
Yeah.
And so that helped me a lot in my private life and of course also when it comes to business or to bigger decisions like what do I eat today? But
Yeah.
it's a great place to start. And as you said, just to explore and to know your body better and to understand it better. Totally love that. Anything
Good.
else, Charlie, you want to share with our audience to wrap this up? It's on you to close.
So I think really it's all about just being yourself in life. If you are quirky, if you are weird, if you think you're a little bit strange, just be you. And the human design system can really start to, shred those layers of conditioning that you think, oh, I have to be a certain way because otherwise I won't get clients, or I have to say this, otherwise people won't recognize me. Just shred those conditioning thoughts that you've got and just be you, just be unique. And yeah, you'll just attract your tribe if you're unique in the world. So yeah.
So beautiful. Be you, be unique. That's so beautiful. Thank you so much for your time, Charlie, for sharing this valuable information with us. Thank you so much for listening and see you next time here at the Rich and Chill podcast. Bye.